have like a 40-minute, 50-minute chunk of time right now, so I'm not bothering with any Twitter/Facebook announcements. We're just gonna hop in, and whoever gets the notification and joins us, that'll be our only company. But otherwise, this is a stream for future viewers and people who tune into the replays. Everyone's probably asleep right now anyway, so I'll just be talking to myself for the next 30, 40, 50 minutes. Basically, I'm meeting my brother in a little while, and when the doorbell rings, that's when I'll shut the stream off. So it's going to be like a surprise finish. Tension's going to energize us as we forge ahead. So, is this really my line layer? It looks as if I've been painting these lines in with like a semi-transparent grey tone. Whoops. That's okay. It's not all that dramatically different. So I haven't had any warm-up today. I haven't even had my coffee yet, but we're just going to jump in and make some progress on these lines, probably. Probably that's all we'll get done. Everything's just a little dark. Maybe I don't need all this. Maybe I don't need all this. Yeah. Let's just paint with black and white right now. So I really like this building style where it's just using a minimal amount of lines. Not sure if it's very faithful to the style we're trying to replicate. We'll consider that later. But I quite like it. I think we're going for a near enough kind of style replication. Why is that so hard to say? Style replication. Yeah, we're just going for near enough. We're taking a few stylistic liberties, putting the 2-minute tabletop spin on things. But overall, I'm happy with how it's looking. And we're still at the point where we can ditch this whole painterly style and just go for something more normal if we really wanted to. But I don't think we want to. I'm pretty happy with where this is going. So we have 4 viewers. Welcome everyone. Do let me know if the music's too loud or if anything else seems odd. There's a little bit of racket in the background from the dryer going. But otherwise, I think everything's set up the way it should be. I have not started with my mic muted like I did a few days ago. So, all's well. A little better slept than a few days ago too. So that's a happy change. Okay, this is like our big inn. This is kind of the major building, which I imagine is an inn. Near the bottom of the settlement, where all the visitors kind of gather. And with this large open space, it seems like the right place to build an inn. So I saw something a little depressing when I opened up my OBS today. Right here in my live panel, it tells me the last follower I got was Salicious 7 days ago. So I know it's been a busy week and I haven't got much streaming done, so it's completely my fault. But if any one of you 2 viewers now can help us break that sad streak, then please do. I'll give you a mad shout out on stream too. Oh, you know what? I just told a lie because it looks like it just hadn't updated because we had a follower 4 hours ago from Pachinki JML. So There's your big shout out, Pachinki. Thanks for breaking the streak. I wonder if this is a line that we want. This building's a little bit haphazardly drafted, so we're gonna have to do some work now with the layout. The important elements are these arcs, archways, arches in the roof. I've got to muddle up these perfectly blocky lines so that they kind of resemble a brushstroke more. So let's stop trying to be so neat and put some deliberate mess in here. So that's going to be like a spine there, so I guess it will come out over here. I had a little arc here, but I don't think we're going to use that one. And what were these? They kind of look like tombstones, headstones at a graveyard, which isn't really what you want in the backyard of your inn, I imagine. Oh, you know what it was? It was a rock garden, which I guess at this scale, a rock garden and a graveyard look like the same thing. But if we really press the garden look, maybe we can still incorporate the rocks. Maybe we'll just go with garden. Regular garden. So I caught up on the Nintendo announcements this morning. Really pumped for that Zelda sequel, and really pumped for the Animal Crossing. Don't have much else to say except really pumped. A+ Nintendo, good job. You've roped me in once again. So this line's a bit too much. We're kind of breaking our rule with this line. Go away, line. Maybe like a line here. We do need some other line in this big blob of nothingness here. Thinking something like that, perhaps. But if these are very straight, then this one's going to be straight too, so let's fix that up. And then a little step to mark where the door is, but we're not going to draw the entire door in. Maybe we will, but probably not. Just a step to mark where that entranceway is. Maybe another one here, as like a fire exit. Bit more garden. I guess this kind of trail coming down here kind of weaves through over here. This is a tea house, by the way. So what kind of stuff would be outside a tea house? Maybe a little water garden instead of a rock garden, like a little well. Not sure if that's going to communicate at this kind of level of detail. But you know, that circle looks like more of a something than these tombstone looking things. So let's go with a little well, a little koi pond kind of deal, right? I'm not sure koi pond would survive up here in the mountain, but maybe they're special or magical enchanted koi. That's the fun thing about drawing content for D&D. Any old thing can go. And you don't really have to justify it. It's just magical in some way or another. That's the vague line that I'm going to refine now. Basically, I just work with very messy lines, and then I'll come back and kind of convert them into little brush pen looking strokes. Last time I sat down to draw this map, work on it, I just couldn't get into the zone, so to speak. Unfortunately, right now I'm really getting to the zone, and the reason it's unfortunate is because I've only got like a half-hour time block to work on it. So we'll see if I can get back into the zone next time, I guess. So we're making some good progress on this line art. I noticed I'm gonna have to do a lot of work on this stuff because A, it doesn't exactly precisely match up with the line art. B, some of these lines where I've decided to put the edge of the brushstroke just doesn't make sense. So yeah, we're going to do more with that. That might be a job for tomorrow. Today, I imagine the job's just going to be finishing these lines off. So in theory, I've got 30 minutes starting now. But let's forge ahead. So this big face down here. In fact, I might save you for last. Let's finish off our bridge system first. And this is going to be a rather large stroke, so to make it easier on myself, I'm going to zoom out so it's a smaller hand movement. And then I'm going to Control Z a bunch of times until I get it right. Standard artist practice. Okay, first of all I'm going to change the brush to the right color, so I'm not erasing. I think I can get away with 2 strokes. So that first half stroke was pretty good. I kind of want it to get thicker at this end because that will aid with our foreshortening. That said, there's not really much foreshortening in the line art in my reference images, but it still looks better than the other way around, confusing the foreshortening. Then our secondary stroke. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think these little pillars I put at the edge I've foregone because they kind of get lost on this bridge. So I'm probably going to ignore them. These little pillars for the shrine, they can stay. And then I think this little platform here between the bridges, that's going to be larger than I drew it in the draft. In fact, that was something that stood out to me when I wrapped things up last time and kind of sat back to look at the thing, is this bridge connecting right here. Looks just a little bit precarious. Like it's right on the edge, whereas it should kind of... It should be built kind of more on the flat land, I suppose. I think we may just let that edge get lost. It's just ended like right about there. like we've done right there. Yeah. And this one, we can just do our little dashy suggestion of an edge. And then like the legs, the pillars holding the bridge up, those will be important. Speaking of which, I don't really like this one. I like the crossbeam. I'm not sure if I'll keep the crossbeam. Like this one. Yeah, we'll see. Now having the little nostril here, I wonder if we'll keep that. It does kind of act as an edge for this platform, so it's useful in that sense. As well as... My question is it too much detail? We've just kind of got the edge of a nose here. Yeah, I guess we do need some hint of a nose if it's going to resemble a face at all. It's nice and sunny out today. That's a big change from last stream. The other question is this cloud going to be here. Like that cloud isn't enveloping the line art. These lines were drawn after all the painting was done. So this is just going to be like a regular nose, a regular brush stroke. I think this map has influenced it, but I've really got the bug to rewatch Avatar: The Last Airbender again. I think I'm gonna start that like tonight when we sit down for dinner. We'll see. In fact, yeah, I kind of wondered where did this idea come from to rewatch Avatar: The Last Airbender, but now that I sit down to draw this map, it makes a lot of sense. Here's our sleeping head. The eyes need some replacement. Not replacement, but better placement. And not at all like that, that's terrifying. Maybe down a bit further. It does look much more peaceful than my draft eyeball. Then I guess we could kind of sneak in an ear slash the side of the face here, like a jawline. That ear is far too large, obviously, but how'd that look? I guess kind of like this. I'm not very good at drawing faces, so this could take some doing. Oh hey, thanks 8-Bit Noise for hosting. And welcome those 4 viewers. Much appreciated. We're just adding line art to our Japanese themed mountain monastery, which you can see over here. I was asking myself what I'm going to do with this space, but now that I look at the thumbnail, I rather like the way it looks. I guess we can really suggest the face, the shape of a head here, if we just turn this whole edge into the forehead kind of sculpt. This. It's got quite a flat head, doesn't he? Maybe if we work on this angle a bit, we can remedy that. I think maybe if we shift the entire face down, then that will really help. Yeah, that's a much more rounded head. So we're nearing the completion of this line art layer, and I've still got a good 20 minutes to go. 10 to 20 minutes, depends how fast my brother drives. To work on something more. It's just going to be a nice little bite-sized stream, won't it? So this is all going to be cloudy stuff, so perhaps I don't need any detail at all in there, but we do need some legs on this bridge and some cliff over here. This is going to come down like this. Just put a little ink blob here where the ink kind of collects together. Now I wonder, let's disable this so that we can, like, I see one issue. It's that this head here looks like a big baby, which isn't necessarily the effect I'm going for. Maybe we'll lose this strange cheekbone, this incredibly soft cheekbone, and do something else. Like maybe this is gonna transition into a cliff. Maybe it'll just be lost in fog. Bless you. I think there's going to be lines this way. That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, and then this whole kind of bottom right quadrant is going to be like a vague cloud. If I enable my color layer again, this is going to be the cloud where this town name kind of kanji block goes. So maybe we'll even get rid of the nose. Just have the eyes in there because we need something to suggest it's a face. I think the eyes will do enough. Maybe just a little doink for a nose like that. No. I guess the nose did handle a lot. Yeah, I think we can get away with the nose. What we do need, I think this line here is suggesting that orbular head. If we get rid of that, see, that's helped the matter. We just got like, there was like a round circle, very clear round shape. Whereas a skull, like a skull, isn't the shape of a light bulb, is it? It's got some other shapes to it. Trying to vary up these incredibly straight lines. Ones that look like Photoshop brushes and not brush brushes. So I guess I could just add, but that's weird. Let's not do that. This is going to be like a foggy ravine. It's kind of why I figured out that I wanted bridges in the map. I wanted a trio of bridges, and I needed a reason to have bridges on a mountain, so I just put this big ravine down the middle. And it's worked out so far. Okay, so let's do something with these lines, because these were just haphazardly drawn in. I want them to resemble these, so let's add some more little shapes and stuff to them. These are much more chaotic, aren't they? Okay, and the actual legs of this bridge, probably down to about there. Doesn't look safe whatsoever, does it? I'm thinking this little line can kind of suggest the edge of this platform and give this face a bit of a cheekbone. Dual purpose line. Kind of in a bad spot though, maybe there. And then the question is, do we want that crossbar in there? It's got to follow this angle here like that. If so, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Gives it some more structure. I wonder if we should mix in just some little blobs of ink where the artist got a bit hasty with his brushwork. I do quite like this effect. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with this. So it's pretty clear from line art alone, we can kind of see the structure to the thing. This is all very nebulous what's going on down here, but that's going to be covered in cloud. It's not important. This is just the route from which the town is entered. Oh, hey, Wolf Spirit 1010. Yeah, excited to have you. Thanks. You're one of 3 viewers. It's quite an exclusive stream right now. So what was I saying? This is the nebulous entrance to the monastery. It's not so important what happens down here. There's a trio of bridges, which we can see. This here, it's quite readable that this is a path that goes to the staircase that goes up. Otherwise, there's a bridge here. There's a clear platform here. Like, maybe we can be more clear with the platform with some kind of line there. But in my mind, this was like a gradual slope, like the slope of a forehead. So maybe, maybe not. We'll see. I think it'll be better just to suggest this line in the brushwork. But anyway, the pathway, you can kind of see the pathway going up here. That looks like a platform to me, stairs. So all the pathways look clear to me. All the buildings look clear to me. Especially if we give them like a color coding. If we color block them like these pink trees, that's an option. So yeah, I think we've accomplished our mission with the lines. So the next thing is to work on these layers, which there's a bunch of oddities. First of all, they're not following the lines very well right now. That'll be an easy fix. This whole section here makes no sense. I need to think of something there. I think maybe we're just going to fill this whole area in with the black, and this line right here doesn't make any sense. But up here, you know, I guess this line doesn't make sense either. So maybe it is like stylized brushwork, right? So maybe we'll just use these edges of the brush to like mark the edges of cliffs, the like bottom edge, like we've got here, slash the edge of the path. Yeah, interesting. Let's try that. First I'll fix up these little errors with the line art, and then I'll fix this area, and then we'll play around with that. But we'll probably run out of time before we get all that done, so let's just make a start. Over here, still haven't given any of these names yet, unfortunately. So we're just kind of flying blind. So like this gradient here doesn't make a lick of sense. That was done when I was heavily fatigued and low on sleep, so we're just fixing up my mistakes from when I was in no shape to be drawing. Probably want a bigger brush because I want that kind of tussled edge that this brush has on its bigger settings. So yeah, happy to have you, Wolf Spirit, but it is just a short stream. I didn't send out any invites on Twitter or anything because I'm just streaming in this little block of free time I have before my brother gets here. So I just figured whoever shows up, and I'll be happy to have them. But it's not a big long 4-hour stream like we've done in the past. I guess the edge of this edge of the watercolor brush is very sharp. Okay, this here, what layer are you on? This one? Nope. Don't need that layer anymore. Okay, here it is. That's rather interesting, how it looks with this layer disabled. Like, doesn't that look interesting? A little better than this, perhaps? Maybe when we play around with the colors and like the opacities of these layers, it will start to make more sense. Okay, well, if we're going to follow that rule where this is the edge of the kind of walkable terrain, then we don't want this. And in fact, we might just let that fall away, then it's like here. And that definitely helps define this kind of platform better, doesn't it? Tidying up my mistakes. Okay. It's interesting. I wonder if it's too smooth. Let's look again at our reference images. I guess this line here, this is what we're going for, by the way. This line here is pretty smooth. It does have more kind of blobby shape to it. Yeah, definitely more blobby. I think we need... That's quite a hard, straight, deliberate edge, but blobby would be preferable, I think. But yeah, the answer to my question before is yes, this is very hard edge, and then these edges kind of fade away. Then again, it is a very hard edge down here too. It's just near white. So perhaps I can do better with these edges. I think I will actually. I think I'll muddle with them some more. But let's see if we can get this kind of blobbier. We've got kind of the effect by accident down here. Then layer U, this is the right one. Like this edge here needs to be more that sharp edge. This one's pretty okay. This one, I like our clouds so far. They're going well. I wonder if we should, like, I do want to expand these clouds so they're kind of slipping up this ravine. And maybe there is like a big gap, like this big space. Actually, I really quite like that. Just kind of occurred to me now at this late stage that these could be like 3 separate peaks with just like big ravines in the middle, because that's the effect that this color layer is giving. And then these staircases, instead of being staircases up a ledge, will become like bridges. That's pretty fun idea, I think. So we can achieve that. I think we can pull it off. So I want this big area here to be... First of all, maybe this one we don't need this. Maybe just a bunch, a lot lighter than that. Then which layer are we working with for this lower area? This one. So I want this to come up here. So I'm just catching up on your message now, Wolf Spirit. But yeah, that's going to be typical with my stream, sadly. Being in Australia, usually I work later in my day too, so in 3 hours from now, typically. And that's like the middle of the night for you folk, unfortunately. But yeah, not much. But there's always the replays, I guess. But yeah, it is fun to have you all here live. How are we doing for time? 12:30, so should be hearing that doorbell any second now. Where'd the sunny weather go? It's raining again. How strange. So I'm gonna hit the save button, and I think I'm just gonna muddle around a bit until that doorbell rings. Or perhaps it would be more responsible of me to stop the stream before the doorbell. This big black area here, that's a bit excessive, isn't it? Oh, and we need to fix this. This line right there. Yeah, this area is far too dark. Where's that? Okay, let's step up. I think we need a larger dark area under here. Well, I think we made some good progress, and I think I'm going to end the stream now before you all have to listen to that loud doorbell. So here's how it looks at the end of our little 40-minute block of work. It'll be interesting to compare with what it looked like at the start. And of course, I'll be back tomorrow. What day is it tomorrow? Thursday. I'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully around this time again, if you want to visit again, Wolf Spirit. Well, that'll cut it for today. To answer your question, yeah, I am going to do more monster tokens in the future. Probably not the near future. It's probably, I think I'm taking a break from tokens this month because I got pretty burnt out last month on monster tokens. So they'll come back, but maybe not this month. In fact, I'm going to get the monster token editor working this month, so that'll be a fun release if you like monster tokens. You'll be able to custom color all of those Sahugin and other fun monsters. I like the thumbnail of this one, so we've made some good progress. Yeah, please hit follow if you haven't yet, and you'll be notified when I next come online. And okay, that's a good little chunk of work. Happy I sat down to do that. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks, Garumu. You've come at a bad time. I'm just signing off. But I'm sure I'll see you again. You're one of the regulars. Okie dokie, I'm hitting that red end stream button right now. Goodbye. Thank you, everyone. See ya.